Hello, welcome back to another episode on the Bird Real Estate Podcast Show. For the new viewers, I am your host, Bruce Bird Jr. As you know, our mission here on this platform is just not to educate, but to motivate. It's for those to take the leap of faith and use their God gift, talent, whatever they may be. So whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a real estate investor, wherever it may be, that's what this platform for. Today we have a special guest today. He's from Santa Barbara, California. He's a registered nurse part-time and CEO of Dispo Depot, a wholesaling company that specializes in disposition services. On one long-term rental in Jacksonville, Florida, buying cash deals in and around Boise, Idaho. Sub-2 deals in major markets. Can you guys help me in welcoming Blake Henderson? How you doing today, Blake?
Great, man. Thanks for being here. It's a pleasure. I appreciate the time and excited to get into it, get to know a little bit about each other and see where things go.
Most definitely. Okay. I want the viewers and myself to get very acquainted with who Blake Henderson is. So who is Blake?
Man, that's a big, broad question. I mean, I grew up in California, born and raised in Big Bear Lake. So that was kind of my nickname growing up, was Blake from Big Bear Lake. And we moved out of there when I was closer to high school. And after high school, I'm a big sports fan, Chargers, Angels, Lakers. So some good, some bad there, but grew up playing sports, basketball, baseball, football. Ended up going to college, playing a little basketball at Cal Baptist in Riverside, California. And after 1 year, just kind of fell out of that, growing up, taking my lumps and figuring life out a little bit. Took a step back and then went into nursing. My mom was going into nursing school at the time and kind of followed her footsteps, so to speak. Got my license and started working in the emergency department, which landed me a job in Santa Barbara, California, which I've lived here for the last 13 years and been a nurse there for about 12 and a half. And, just climbed the ladder pretty quickly. I got my MBA while I was there and was getting close to managerial. I was doing some supervising and organizing teams and leading teams and whatnot. And after a while, I kind of realized there's a ceiling here. I'm not too far from the ceiling, and I could keep going, and I could see myself being, something bigger as far as the executive branch, which is why I went and got my MBA. But I started thinking of what else is out there and stumbled upon real estate investing. I went to the Bigger Pockets mainstream, which is great. I learned a lot about real estate investing and went and bought my first traditional long-term rental in Jacksonville, Florida last January. And after I bought it, I kind of realized, hey, maybe there's another way to do this. Like, I got to go grind and work day in, day out, pick up extra shifts just to be able to buy one of these per year. So I started doing more research, went into the YouTube algorithm and stumbled upon Pace Morby and Sub2, which, if you haven't heard or your listeners haven't heard, it's by far the best community for real estate investing in the planet. And I would vouch for that 100%. It's incredible. And so from that experience and that mentorship, I've been able to create the business, the wholesaling business, which we'll probably dig into a little bit more, and meet people like you, be here talking to you, wouldn't have had that opportunity. So yeah, it's a little bit about me.
I appreciate it. How many kids do you have?
Got 2 kids. I got a 4-year-old girl, Remy Ray, and she keeps us busy. She's a full of energy, super energetic kid. Love her to death. And then we got a almost 9-month-old baby boy. His name is Maverick. So 2 kids.
That's awesome. How does fatherhood feel?
Fatherhood's amazing, man. It's hard, it's like trying to work at the hospital, do that part-time, build a business on the side, own and operate that. We got a whole team underneath me and my partner, and then you get kids mixed in and still need some quality time with the wife. And I keep myself extremely busy, but I think that's kind of how I like it, to be honest. So just kind of continuing to work towards a vision and some different goals long term to get to a lifestyle that's a little more balanced. But for now, just grinding away, man, and enjoying it as much as possible.
That's what it is, just to join the process, just the journey, that's all part of it. So since we
Mhm.
talk about the journey, what do you love about life?
Man, I get to the first thing that comes to mind is just gratitude. And I think I get constant reminders of what it's like not to be able to talk or walk or breathe. I see that in the emergency department every week. Someone's dying or their family
Mm.
members dying and getting to experience that. So that's kind of where my mind goes is, I'm grateful for just the health of myself and my family and the opportunities in front of me and the people that I get to meet and talk to and connect with, and obviously, all my family and friends. So just trying to enjoy that as much as possible because we get so busy, it's easy to forget. So it's kind of a blessing and a curse to be able to be reminded of how hard life can be sometimes and how difficult it can be and what privileges we have. So I definitely try to keep those, constant on my mind and just reminded of those.
That's why, like, instead of being so angry all the time or miserable, you learn to enjoy life. Like you said, it can be gone within just a snap of a finger, and with you working in a hospital, I know you see a lot going on there. And then when you go home, it probably make you want to love on your family even more, you know, and just really
Hmm.
appreciate the time, because time is not promised to no one, so that's a that's definitely a powerful statement. Because people don't, the little things they don't even appreciate. So
Yeah. Yeah. I think we just forget. I think it's easy to forget. We get busy, we get tied up and wrapped up in different things, and we each have our own, way of thinking and way of upbringing that resulted in our way of thinking and influences that. And we each kind of have our own challenges. So, it's good to have reminders and be able to, somehow be grateful for those things and accept where you're at and also, continue to push forward to go through the adversities and get to a place where you're trying to be.
so what are your personal strengths?
So my strengths, I would say, I'm like I said, I'm super busy. I'm super productive, hyper productive. When I get down at work, I work hard, stay up late, get up early type thing. And I'm a pretty fast learner, I would say, compared to most. Nothing against anybody. Everybody learns at their own pace, but I just tend to pick up things fast. I created my own business in a matter of months, essentially.
Mm.
And I did have my MBA to kind of help teach me that mindset and some of the economics behind it. But, created a business from scratch fairly quickly. I learned Sub 2 and creative finance within a couple of months. Obviously, big thanks to Sub 2 and the community and what Pace has put together to make that possible. But I'm finding pretty quickly that people are reaching out to me that initially were people that, were in it for a while and experienced, and now they're asking me for
Mm.
advice and counsel. And so, I just learn things pretty quickly. Not everything, but most things. Some things stick better than most, of course. Um, and I'm a relator, man. I relate to everyone. I've always been kind of that guy that's friends with the basketball team guys or everybody in the sports arena, all the guys I'm in the trenches playing the game with, but also the guy that's like friends with whoever's not playing any sports and maybe
Right.
they're in some clubs or whatever, like I don't have enemies. I really don't. I just get along with everybody, and obviously some people that maybe I don't. It's not as easy. It's not an enemy, or it's not like a. Um, but they still come to me and talk to me, so I still relate to them, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
You that's called
Um,
like what?
no, I mean, I think the other thing about me, the last thing that's kind of one of my strengths is I tend to be a visionary. I kind of have
Mm.
the strength of just creating ideas out of thin air without trying. It just is what naturally comes to mind is just these grandiose ideas and bigger thinking. So that's been interesting to see while creating a business, because my partner's kind of the same thing. And usually you would want a mix of, someone who's a visionary and someone who's kind of an integrator. So I've found that through the business and creating the business, I also have some integrator skills and strengths that I didn't know I had, as far as just picking up technology and softwares and finding ways to create things that are more of the integrator type, but naturally definitely a visionary.
I believe I'm a visionary myself. Visionary foresee things when others don't see it. And I think that could be a blessing and a curse also, because people might say you crazy because you have a vision that you have to put out there. You have to get it done. Even if nobody else sees it or believes it, it's like it's hard being a visionary. It's a great strength, but it's very challenging.
I mean, you're here right now doing a podcast, right? Like, this was your vision, right? I'm sure part of it, and one of the
Yeah.
visions that you had, is creating an audience and creating a platform and something to connect with people. And that's a perfect example of, I bet there's a lot of people that doubted you or doubted me and creating my business. And you're right, it is, something that you have to just kind of acknowledge and know it's there, listen to it, but don't take it in, and don't let it stop you from getting to where you're trying to go.
You got to have that I don't care attitude.
Yeah.
Not like you just a bad person, but I don't care, like, because you're not doing what I do. You're not
Mhm.
taking the steps that I take. You're not really trying to make an impact. You know,
Right.
So, but we're gonna go through this next topic. The next topic is more about your business. We want to know more. We want to know the feeling of when you closed your first deal. What was the emotions? What was your thought process? Like, let me
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, a smile comes to my face because you live and you learn, right? Like, especially in a new arena. And when I got into real estate investing, one of the first things I learned was to be a bird dog. Just go find buyers for people's deals and just kind of go see and talk to buyers. Hey, what are you looking for? Oh, I saw this deal over here. So I was essentially just being a finder. And I found a buyer for a deal in New Orleans, and brought the buyer back to the wholesaler, and great relationship. Everything was good there. But in my mind, I'm like thinking ahead of this dispo business, and we're going to provide this service and 50-50 cuts and everything. And
Mm,
when it came down to it, I didn't do enough. I didn't know better. So I
mm.
essentially brought the buyer. And when it came down to, all right, here's the split, he's like, dude, you're getting a finder's fee, bro. I am not paying you. I'm not paying you 50-50. What are you talking about? You didn't, there was constant conversations with this buyer
Yeah.
that you weren't involved in. And so that was a good lesson to learn, but a great experience at the same time. That, I think a lot of people that get into wholesaling, they see this opportunity of, wow, I could literally just go find someone looking for something, bring it to
Mhm,
someone who has it, and
mhm,
I made $2,500 on it. Not a bad day,
mm.
right?
Not at all. You
So,
know,
and I learned something from it too.
exactly. That's why, everything in anything, definitely being an entrepreneur, everything had to be in contracts, because that
Mhm.
should have been like a joint venture deal,
Right.
and people could play on lack of experience, you
Mhm.
know, but then, like, the thing about life itself, everything comes back full circle. So, like, roles
Mhm.
reverse. So when you
Mhm.
do good business gonna follow. When you do bad business, you might be looking at the person that you did bad business with, and you gotta like, man, hey, I see you moving. I see you got some good deals. I heard about you, and now you
Yeah.
gotta. It's kind of rough, man. But that's
Mhm.
that's that's an awesome feeling, because just to make money like that, and it's very quick because it happens so fast when you close a deal and when everybody agrees to terms, and you be like, is this really happening? you know,
Mhm.
Working long hours, and now you just do something that you don't have to put that much hours in, and you get reward greatly, because the sky's the limit when you do real estate. It really is.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think that's why a part of it, like, people get sucked into, not they see the vision, as speaking of visionary, they see the vision of, like, wow, I can literally just kind of sit back and connect. I can just connect people. And that's not hard, but at the same time, like, if you really want to use that to scale and to get to the point where I think a lot of people want to get, which is, I want to make some real money here, maybe potentially quit my W-2 type thing. you're going to have to realize that it is work and it's hard. You're going to have to spend hours, doing the work. So I think that's what a lot of people struggle with. We find that all the time in our business because we only JV with direct contract holders. It's just a flat rule that we have. We do 50-50 with the direct contract holders, and we get people all the time like, hey, I have a friend. Hey, I have a friend. Hey, I have a friend. Once it, like if you have a friend, that's awesome. Like I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. Talk to your friend and let them know if they want to JV with us, they're going to have to pay you their fee. Or if they JV, like we'll work something out, but I can't just be we have people send stuff just from off market emails from realtors. You know what I mean? It's like, you got to do a little bit more than that. We got to work out an agreement before we can do business together. So appreciate the hustle. Just got to be smart about it.
Right. You gotta be smart and get direct to the source, and I found myself also in a lot of daisy chains. Them daisy chains, you can have a real buyer, or you can have the actual property. Like, hold on, man. Like then the fees get kind of polluted and like, when they market it, it's like, I didn't put it at $50,000. My cut was only 10. What are you doing? And the deal don't go, as it should, because nobody has a direct buyer or direct to the source of the seller, in the wholesale game, But no, that's and you got to be cutthroat like that, to vet people out and weed them out and stuff like that, because they have you wasting your time and getting on your nerves, in the aspect of be like, man, so I definitely get that. Tell the viewers more about the sub two.
So yeah, sub two is it's a community, man. It's like a lifestyle. It's crazy. I don't know of any other mentorship in the planet for real estate investing. Maybe there's some others outside of that industry, but I mean, we have lifetime access. Like, what other mentorships do you sign up for that you get into that educate you on something, whether it's single family, whether it's wholesaling, like astro flipping. Astro flipping is another great one too. But a lot of these communities, they get your money, they teach you for 3 to 6 to 9 months, maybe a year, and then you're done. Like sub two is for life. I get to be in this community for life, and there's just a growing network of people that are like-minded, that are learning the same things, and people share stuff that you would not see in other communities. It's an abundance mentality. Everybody's, trying to grow together and make money together, and people are just sharing all the secrets and helping each other out. Put a question to the community and you're going to get an answer 100%. So there's obviously the creative finance part of it and the education that comes with it, and everything we learn about sub two and seller finance or hybrid deals or multifamily. PACE teaches us how to run a business, how to structure your business, like the flow of money. Teaches you everything. It's crazy. It's so much more than just sub two. A lot of people don't know that. So man, I highly recommend it. And I'm not trying to sell it. That's just my experience personally, that I would definitely, unless I see something better, if I see something, I'm always open-minded to something better. But I don't know too many mentorships that have a mentor that's going to spend like 24 hours straight on a Zoom teaching people. He's crazy, dude. PACE is crazy in all the right ways. So
and that's, nowadays we don't have true mentorship, and I get mentorship. People can waste your time. They might not have the buyer that need to get the job done, and you don't have time to babysit as no mentor. And I get that aspect, but to actually have a true mentor that's really helping people, that really have that fire, that really want to change their life, that's a blessing itself, because nowadays people don't want to help you at all. You just gotta find out by trial and error.
Well, and a lot of people don't want to help themselves, unfortunately, right? So you have that mixed in, and I think the biggest difference is the structure of PACE's community. He's created other leaders. So he's obviously the leader, right? He's like the alpha. He's doing so much that any other mentor I've seen is not doing, but he's also created a network of other leaders within it, underneath him, that are just doing all the things to help continue, the community and the culture there, so that everybody underneath those people is falling in line. And when they don't, they're notified. Like you will find out pretty quickly if you don't have the right mindset, and not in a bad way, but just like, hey, we don't do that here. This is how we do things here. This is how things are done.
Mm.
So it's pretty exceptional.
Man, that's cool. That's awesome. So we're about to go to the next topic. Next topic is, what are you up to now? Or you writing books, or you about to start mentoring yourself? What
Mhm.
what up? You doing more than real estate, fix flip, multifamilies? What are you up to now? You and your company.
Yeah, so obviously I have the wholesaling company and we specialize in dispo, but we're last 3 weeks we've been branching off into acquisitions. So we're doing some dead lead acquisitions. So we're reworking all of our leads that we couldn't dispo. The market's been tough, so dispo has been pretty difficult. And even though we're using investor lift and the cartel mode, and we have these great systems, and I have people working 8 hours a day trying to sell deals, it's just
Mm.
difficult right now. So, we rework those leads to try to get money to everybody, the person that brought it to us, and try to sell those deals again, maybe just get it at a better price. So that's something that we've started, and we got a couple contracts that we're working on through that. And then I have a team that we're working with that's strictly focusing on sub two acquisitions. So we're just going after straight sub two deals nationwide, and we're having some fun there. A lot of agents, bless their hearts, they're just they're just difficult. They don't know better. I don't know. It's like some of them are amazing. I talked to the sweetest agent the other day. She was great. Didn't know what sub two was. So there's some education, but she's open to it. She want to have a conversation versus the next person that we talked to, she's laughing in my face about sub two and saying it's illegal. So it's kind of fun, crazy, but yeah,
But
I
hey,
come across them.
that's funny because I deal with realtors too also before, and they don't
Yeah,
like the fact as a wholesaler or an investor, you get paid way more money than that. They have to deal with a broker who distributes their money, you know.
right.
And nothing against them, because I don't want to just put a dark cloud over realtors and people can't work with them.
No,
It's just certain ones you work with and you can actually have
yeah.
a business relationship with. So like that's the thing about it. It's a dog eat world. Definitely in that
Mhm.
game where you deal with realtors, like I said, it's very difficult to work together. So
It can be. And I guess that's in every profession, right? Like I have doctors I work with that are difficult and others that are not, it's just the way it is, human nature. So you work with the ones that you can and you try to be open-minded and educate the ones that are more difficult. But yeah, so we're doing some acquisitions. I'm also partnering with a couple people in Boise, in and around Boise. So we're
mm,
doing cash deals there, looking to buy cash deals for fix and flips or fix and lease option flips. So we're doing some stuff there. And then I have a partner that we're working on multifamily acquisitions in DFW.
mm,
So we're trying to get some multifamily in DFW. And we're probably, in the beginning stages of that. I do underwriting, so I understand the underwriting aspect to it.
mm,
She's experienced with buying units before, commercial units before, and we're just looking to kind of add one more person to our team that's got experience raising capital and
mm.
can kind of help walk us through that. But that's kind of an exciting adventure that we've just started in the last month or so as well. Um, and then do some gator lending. I guess it's not gator lending anymore. The EMD joint ventures, I should call it, where we JV with wholesalers to provide their EMD on wholesale deals, and then we can come to an agreement on a fee as long as it works for them. And then the great thing about that is we can help dispo it too. So it's kind of a nice resource for newer wholesalers that don't have funds. They have a deal. They don't have buyers. We can kind of help connect the dots there too.
Mm. So my final question for you is, what would you tell your old self if you could talk to yourself, whatever younger, 12, 13, 20, what would you tell yourself?
I think, this is personal to me. Everyone's got their own journey. I think for me, I would have liked to be a little more aware of who I am and what I want to be, what I want to try to be a little bit earlier in life. I kind of felt like I was just going through the motions. I never really, I think I was honestly privileged in a lot of ways growing up, which is, you know, a blessing, but also a curse too, where I had a lot of things come easy to me. And so I never really worked as hard as I should have for a lot of things. The mindset I have now, like if I had back then, I have no doubt I could have, and it takes a lot of luck with this too, but I could have made the NBA or the MLB. Like that's my mindset now. I could do
Mm.
anything. I just have to really work at it, get the right support, training, and obviously a little bit of luck. I know I could have done some of those things where back then I wasn't willing to work, you know. I just show up and practice when I practice was scheduled, go to the games, and that's it. So I wish I would have had a little bit more awareness of kind of myself and where I wanted to be and where I wanted to go, not just go through the motions so much. And luckily, that's kind of where I'm at now. Just definitely paying a lot more attention to life and what's going on with me and what's going on around me. So
Okay.
just being a lot more purposeful.
Okay. So as you should know that we do have other investors that I interview and they watch the episodes, other entrepreneurs, just people in general. How can they find Blake Henderson?
Yeah, I mean, I do have my QR code here on the screen, so you could use that for my contact, which is helpful because I'm not the best social media guy yet. I've always just kind of not been in it as much. I don't know my handles, you know. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. You can find our company at thedispodepot.homes. So that's where you can see our website and our inventory and our services. So you can connect through me with me through there as well, because you'll see our business line on there. But yeah, you can scan my QR code, reach out to me. I'm always open to connect. You know, that's why I was here today with you. Just total stranger yesterday, and now we get to know each other a little bit. I always like connecting with people and talking and seeing how we can provide value to one another.
I appreciate that most definitely. I appreciate you even coming on and coming on early this morning just to
Mhm.
bless my platform with your knowledge and educate other people and actually be willing to do collaboration with them on my platform. So you know I am grateful and appreciative for you coming on. You know, um, for the viewers, please like, subscribe, and also you can follow me on Instagram at I am Bossman Bruce 3.0. Add me on Facebook, Bruce Bird. Um, I am Bossman TV. Until next time, you guys, enjoy. Thank you. And thank you, Blake, for blessing us
Thanks,
today.
Bruce. Appreciate it, bro.
All right.